Well, now we can say that the season has really started as the real episode 1 of High School DXD Season 4, aka or mm, BKA, which stands for better known as High School DXD Hero, is unleashed. And now this arc can truly begin. Although this episode still felt a little slow, maybe in the end it was just me. Still though, in this episode, first of all, I finally paid more attention to the opening, and let me tell you, it does not disappoint. That is one kick-ass opening song. So after all, in this episode, we are treated to Issei and his friends visiting the Gremory house where Issei has a mock battle, practice battle against Sayaborg, or whatever you say his name, to show us how powerful that man is. So, hi, this is the Angry Anime Fan bringing you, well, I want to say episode 2, but in a way, this is actually episode 1 of High School DXD Hero. Either way, first of all, the episode begins in a lecherous one as we see the girls, Ashia, no, first Akino, then Koneko, then Ashia, and finally Rias, well, trying to get into bed with Issei. Damn, that guy, he always has the lucky one. Elsewhere on the trip, Issei's perverted friends says they have to be uh, ready for a trip to a place. It also reveals that the Juggernaut, the, the sacrifice of using the Juggernaut uh, deal, the no, as a sacrifice of using the Juggernaut drive before, Issei lost a lot of his life force, meaning he has to do daily healing sage arts, which is basically sitting with a half-naked Koneko-chan in a place, seeing that since Koneko-chan now has an attraction towards Issei, using that will heal the life force. Later on that day, the Gremory group visits the Gremory family, where it's revealed that Rose Weiss, now a new member of the Rias Gremory team, as well as as well as another Rook, and also a former Valkyrie, wishes to teach the magic arts and learn the magic arts of the Gremory clan in hopes of opening a school here in the territory. As the family of the Gremory clan welcomes them all with open arms, later on that day, Rias meets up with Issei and Sairaorg, who requests Issei to have a practice battle with him in order to test the strength. Eventually, as they acknowledge, we see the true power of Sairaorg, which is truly a bit interesting. Sairaorg comes from the House of Beal, which is apparently, should say, is one of the strongest clans ever. However, unlike so many others, Sayaborg doesn't appear to have a very huge demon power, but what it does have is a fist of pure and insane strength. As during the fight, he dominates Issei many times. Despite this, Issei refuses to give up, and they fight passionately and also gets strong as he gets stronger by remembering Ria's boobs. Well, that is it for you. This battle, in the end, the battle ends without any victor. Although to be fair, Sayaborg held most of the advantage in my book. That is until Issei remembered the power of Rias's breasts. As they part on good terms, well, they always were on good terms. He says, mm, he says, I will enjoy to have a new fight with you in the future. As he then walks away, making Cyborg and Issei true friends, so to speak. I mean, well, and now, but he also warns the team of Rias that next time they meet it will be on the stage of the ranking games. So he says to them all to come at him with their true passion and their true strength. Only then can they be strong. So later on, Sir Sex, Rias's older brother, as well as the Mao Lucifer, asks Issei how the blows felt. And Issei mentioned that they were filled with passion and also were unstoppable. So Sex is a kind man because he mentions that as a devil that wasn't born with anything special, Sairaorg had to work hard to earn where he is now, uh, and that is because he possesses something that few devils do not have: a passion to move forward despite every single handicap. Some devils believe they are strong because they are born that way. Others believe that they cannot become that way because, well, it's like that. However, Star 6 also praises Issei, saying that many of Sairaorg's opponents loses their will facing against him. Well, who can blame them? A guy that is that well trained delivers such crushing blows, and the fact that he's fighting pretty normal, as normal for a devil standard. Of course they would lose their will to face. But even though Issei also were pretty shocked by Sairaorg's blows, he still fought with him with all his might. Granted, he was wielding his armor, but that's how he does. Though, meaning that Issei is also a little bit of a difference in that he will not give up any of those times. As Issei and later on that day, the next day it's going to be a school trip, while Rias wants to sleep naked next to Issei, although nothing happens. The next day, the school of the human school that they go to will take them to Kyoto, where they will most all go. Although the only ones who are going are Zenovia, Irina, Kiba, and Ashia. Rias is standing on standby as she waves goodbye to Issei. The adventure in Kyoto has just begun. This is basically this chapter, as we are then treated to a pretty sexy, well, ending, especially of the group, well, in bikinis, washing a car. Now that was a dream come true, so to speak. Alright, that's basically this new episode, or the real first episode. A lot of people have actually questioned that they do not like the new art of High School DXD Hero. But to be fair, this art is meant to represent the manga as well as the light novel a lot more. Actually, I don't really mind it that much. Granted, however, some of the people's colors are not as bright as before, especially Sairaorg, who I believed in the third season he had black hair. Now he has brown hair. Well, maybe he had original brown hair to begin with. But already looking forward to more episodes because someone who that will be something that truly be something to looking forward to. I have. So well, that's basically this episode. I mean, granted, however, it didn't feel super amazing to me, which, by the way, I don't really like to feel that way. These episodes must feel super amazing, because I've been longing for them for a long time. But that's maybe because I know what's gonna happen in this light novel, and that's what I'm looking forward to has yet to happen. However, at least it will be a good start. Cyborg, yeah, that is one kick-ass guy. Although, again, the etchiness you can take in this anime you can take that with a grain of salt. And when I mean a grain of salt is that sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not. Especially of the fact that Rias's breasts empowering Issei, it can feel a little bit cringeworthy. But then again, this is just that kind of weird manga. I mean, anime it is. It is one of the few animes I know out there that could actually combine etchiness and action together with heartfelt stories. That is why I've always liked High School DxD. And of course, I don't mind the etchiness. Although I did mind the fact that the etchiness was censored this time, but hey, that was to be expected. Guess they will release the uncensored episodes in the future. Give me your thoughts if you have any.